The world mourned a hero. Captain Marvel died saving Earth. A statue was built, nations wept, and the Avengers honored her. But Peter Parker, Spider-Man, noticed something odd. A faint energy trail, alien tech, a hidden signal. It led him to a remote moon base cloaked from all scans. There, in stasis, alive, was Carol Danvers. Why fake her death? Who was she protecting, or hiding from? What Spider-Man uncovers threatens the truth of every hero. Earth was seconds away from annihilation. A Kree warship, the size of a city and armed with a planet-busting core, tore through the atmosphere like a burning god. Every global defense system failed. Satellites disintegrated. Shields cracked. The Avengers, scattered across the globe, could do nothing but watch the fire streak from the sky. Then came a final broadcast. Static. Then her voice. "This is Captain Marvel. I've got this." And she was gone. The explosion lit up the sky for 7 full minutes. People as far as Africa saw the flare without looking up. The energy pulse knocked out power grids on 3 continents. For a heartbeat, everyone thought it was over. Then the news hit. Captain Marvel destroyed the warship, and herself. No body. No wreckage. Just vapor. Across the world, silence turned to sorrow. Memorials erupted instantly. Manhattan's skyline glowed in gold for a week. Wakanda declared her a warrior eternal. The president signed an executive order declaring March 19 Danvers Day. Even Tony Stark's old AI uploaded a tribute video across every Stark satellite. She was gone, but never forgotten. Peter Parker couldn't sleep. He tried. God knows he tried. Swung past her statue every night. It stood in Times Square now, full flight pose, fist raised, the words, "Earth's brightest star," etched into the base. He'd stop there sometimes, just watching. But something wasn't right. It started small. While helping SWRD agents sweep the eastern seaboard for alien debris, Peter's spider sense buzzed, gently. Not danger, not quite. But off. He found a piece of alien tech wedged in a skyscraper. Ordinary looking, until he noticed the power signature, still pulsing. Barely. Then he traced it. A faint energy trail. Almost like a warp signature, but reversed. Not something coming to Earth, something leaving. That didn't make sense. Peter brought it to SWRD. They shrugged. Residual noise. They dismissed it, thanked him, and took the tech. He watched the lead agent slip the device into a black case and walk away, no logging, no questioning. Just silence. His skin crawled. The next night, Peter went rogue. Tapped into old Stark satellites. Cross-referenced cosmic energy logs from the explosion. Rerouted shield sensors still semi-active in orbit. And he found it. A spike of quantum displacement, not disintegration. Not a blast outward, a pull inward. Something didn't explode. It teleported. And the signal didn't end on Earth. It kept going. To Saturn. A dead signal looped back from one of the moons, an abandoned Kree relay base once thought destroyed in the Skrull War. The last recorded access ping was 6 minutes after Captain Marvel's last words. He knew what that meant. But it couldn't be. Could it? He didn't tell anyone. Not even MJ. Not even Strange. Not Fury. He went alone. The ride was rough. He hijacked one of Rocket's old escape shuttles, the thing barely held together with duct tape and sarcasm. Took 2 days just to pass Mars. No backup. No safety net. Just Peter Parker, riding on guilt and a suspicion that felt more like betrayal. The base was cloaked. But the moment Peter breached orbit, his suit started glitching. Not from the cold, from interference. Something wanted to stay hidden. He slipped through the shield, barely avoiding impact. Crashed. limped through sand and metal for what felt like hours until he found the core chamber. And froze. There she was. Carol Danvers. Captain Marvel. Alive. Suspended in a stasis pod. Breathing. Monitored. Guarded by automated defense drones that should have shot him to pieces. But they didn't. Because Peter had already disabled them 0.3 seconds before. He stood in front of the pod, disbelief flooding every nerve. Her hair floated weightless. Her suit intact. Heartbeat steady on the monitor. Why? Why fake your death? He accessed the system. Alien tech, but he'd seen enough from Stark and Banner to scrape through it. The pod was synced with Earth-based encryption. Not Kree. Not Skrull. Earth. A private uplink to a secure SWRD node. Someone knew. Someone on Earth put her here. Before Peter could react, the pod hissed. Power cycled. Her eyes opened. Blue. Alert. Focused. Peter? His heart nearly gave out. What the hell is going on? He whispered. Carol sat up slowly. Her voice was raw. I didn't mean for you to find this. You died. The whole world thinks you. I had to, she cut in. The real threat isn't the Kree. It's coming from inside. What do you mean? Carol stood, legs shaky but steady. SWRD was compromised. They found a way to control enhanced beings. A chip. Quantum-linked. Hidden in our gear, our comms, even our food. I found out too late. They knew I'd expose them. So I let them think I died. Who else knows? No one. You weren't supposed to. You let the world grieve for you, Peter said, voice rising. I cried for you. Everyone did. We built statues. Nations mourned you. I know. Then why stay here? Why not come back, stop them? Carol's eyes were steel. Because if I return, they'll activate the failsafe. The moment I step back on Earth, they'll kill half the powered population. It's all wired. One signal. I've been trying to find the source, from out here. Peter backed away, everything spiraling. This was too much. Too fast. You expect me to stay quiet, he said. I expect you to choose, Peter. She stepped forward. You expose this, Earth burns. You stay quiet, they stay safe, for now. But I need time. Just a little more. Please. Peter stared at her. His childhood hero. His teammate. His friend. She lied. But maybe, she had no choice. Maybe the bigger betrayal was still on Earth. And now, he had a choice to make. Peter Parker didn't speak on the way back. He sat alone in the cockpit of the battered shuttle, his hands trembling over the controls. Behind him, Earth glowed like a blue dream. Captain Marvel was alive. But the truth felt heavier than death. Back on Earth, the world kept spinning. People lit candles at Carol Danvers' memorial. Kids wore Star Emblem shirts. A documentary called Lightbringer dropped on streaming and broke records. No one knew the woman they cried for was locked in orbit, not by enemies, but by her own people. Peter landed the shuttle at an old Avengers hangar, now rarely used. He disabled the logs. Scrubbed the security cams. Not even Friday got a ping. The first person he called was Sam Wilson. Not Fury. Not Strange. Sam answered fast. Yo, Peter. You okay? We need to talk, Peter said. Privately. They met in a Brooklyn alleyway an hour later. Sam in civilian gear. Peter in a hoodie and mask. No drones. No tracking. Just two Avengers off the grid. Peter didn't waste time. He told him everything. Sam didn't flinch. Just listened. When Peter finally stopped, Sam leaned against a brick wall, crossing his arms. You sure? I saw her with my own eyes. She's alive, Sam. She said SWRD is compromised. That they're using quantum tech to control powered people. That if she comes back, they'll trigger something bad. Sam exhaled slowly. She wasn't lying. Peter blinked. What? I didn't know she was alive. But I knew something was wrong, Sam said. 3 months ago, I intercepted a SWRD directive. A list of enhanced individuals marked for containment readiness. Not villains. Us. Peter felt cold. Why didn't you say anything? Because if I'm right, this goes higher than SWRD government. Maybe even inside the UN. You speak up, they paint you rogue. Strip your rights. Turn public opinion against you. Next thing you know, they're dropping inhibitors into your cereal. Peter wanted to scream. So what do? We dig. Quietly. Carefully. We don't tell the Avengers. Not until we know who to trust. That night, Peter went back to Queens, but it didn't feel like home. He stared out his window, watching lights flicker across the skyline. Each one was a life Carol died for, or pretended to. He didn't sleep. Again. The next day, Peter broke into a StarkTech substation in Jersey. It was supposed to be decommissioned. It wasn't. Inside, he found logs, data packets quietly rerouted through Stark satellites into a black server channel. All tagged, Project Silence. Files were locked. Quantum encrypted. But Peter had Stark-level access buried in his suit's emergency protocols. He hacked the gate. The data chilled him. Thousands of enhanced files. Power maps. Weakness analyses. Psychological profiles. Each tagged with a color code, green, yellow, red. Red meant contain immediately. Spider-Man was red. Wanda Maximoff, red. Doctor Strange, red. Shuri, yellow. Sam Wilson, red. Kate Bishop, green. It was a hit list. And that was just folder 1. Peter copied everything. Wiped the logs. Burned the drives. He called Sam again. I found the list. It's real. We're all on it. Sam's voice was grave. Then it started. What? Check the news. Peter turned on the TV. Breaking, massive EMP disables satellite grid over Eastern Europe. SWRD claims cosmic interference. Communications blackout expected. Peter's heart dropped. That's not interference. That's cover. For what? For extraction. Somewhere in Prague, in a safe house nobody knew about, a mutant named Polaris was ripped from her bed in the middle of the night by men in clean suits. No insignia. No words. Just black masks and paralytic darts. They moved fast. Peter and Sam went faster. They needed help. Someone with reach. Someone SWRD didn't own. They called Shuri. She didn't answer. So they flew to Wakanda. The skies looked calm, but the moment their jet crossed the border, a cloaked drone hovered beside them. Then another. Then 5 more. A message beamed directly into their cockpit. Turn back. This airspace is now closed. Wakanda is in lockdown under Royal Emergency Protocol. No exceptions. Peter stared. Emergency? What emergency? Sam swore. Something's gone wrong. Then the message ended. Another voice came through, Shuri's. Direct and encrypted. Don't come here. They tried to tag me. Failed. I've gone underground. I'll contact you soon. Then silence. Peter slumped back. They're everywhere, Sam. Not yet, Sam replied. We're still here. That means we can fight. Suddenly, Peter's phone lit up. An old Stark channel. One only 3 people still had. The message was one word. Run. Before Peter could react, the hangar they'd landed in exploded. Flames. Smoke. Heat. Sam grabbed Peter mid-jump, wings spreading as the roof collapsed beneath them. A drone swarm buzzed in, weapons hot. They found us. They zipped through the skyline, ducking blasts, weaving between buildings. Peter shot a web and swung hard across a parking garage, flipping midair. Who sent that message? I don't know. Then who's watching us? No answer. They ditched the drones in a sewer underpass and vanished into the dark. 2 hours later, a package arrived at Peter's old apartment. No name. No return address. Inside, a drive. And a note. She's not the only one who faked her death. Peter plugged in the drive. A face blinked onto the screen. Natasha Romanoff. Alive. And she had one sentence. Project Silence is Phase 1. You're already in Phase 2. Peter stared at the screen like it punched him. Natasha Romanoff. Alive. Talking. She wasn't a recording. Her eyes moved. She paused between words. This was real time. Before you ask, she said, yes, it's me. No clones. No multiverse. No Skrull. I faked it. Fury helped. I had to disappear when I found out about Silence. Peter swallowed. You died on Vormir. I know. But I didn't. Her voice was low. Flat. Tired. What they told you was true, from a certain point of view. Vormir was a setup. They knew someone had to make a sacrifice. They sent me because they thought I was expendable. But the moment I realized the real plan, I broke protocol. Pulled an extraction trick we'd buried in old Red Room code. My pulse flatlined. I vanished before Banner brought everyone back. Peter's head spun. So you've just been hiding? No. Watching. Digging. Silence is bigger than anyone realizes. It's not just powered individuals. They're targeting anyone with potential. Children. Mutants. Dormant genes. Technopaths. Even scientists who've come too close. Peter's stomach twisted. They want control, Natasha continued. Total control of the enhanced population. And if they can't control them, they eliminate them, Peter whispered. Natasha nodded. Carol tried to stop it from the outside. I tried from the inside. Now both our covers are blown. Sam leaned in beside Peter. How do we stop it? Natasha's face hardened. We don't. Not yet. We expose it. She sent coordinates. Remote mountains. Siberia. Peter blinked. You're in Russia? Not exactly. Meet me there. And don't bring anyone else. Trust no agency. Not even the ones you think are clean. The feed cut. No dramatic goodbye. No cinematic moment. Just cold strategy from the world's deadliest spy. 2 days later, Peter and Sam trudged through knee-deep snow under a moonless sky. No GPS. No drones. Just a transponder beeping weakly in Peter's mask HUD. A light flickered behind a rock wall. They entered a narrow cavern. And there she was. Black Widow. Natasha Romanoff. Alive. Real. She looked older. Harder. Her red hair cropped short. Her suit was pure utility, no branding, no glamour. Sam crossed his arms. Nice place. Cozy, right? Natasha smirked. Harder to drone strike a rock. Peter stepped forward. You faked death, Carol faked death. How many Avengers are secretly alive right now? Natasha didn't laugh. Less than you'd hope. More than you'd think. She led them deeper into the bunker. Screens. Drives. Files. Physical and digital. Natasha had built her own mini-intel war room. On one screen, web of names and photos. Government officials. Tech CEOs. Scientists. Military generals. And at the center? Director Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Peter froze. I've seen her on TV. Natasha nodded. She's been assembling teams across the globe. Officially to keep the world safe. Unofficially? She's leading Project Silence. Sam frowned. She's running the Thunderbolts. She's running the world, Natasha corrected. Or trying to. She dropped a flash drive onto the table. This holds everything I've gathered: black sites, prototype suppressors, nanotech control tags. Including test logs from volunteers, some who never made it out. Peter picked up the drive like it was radioactive. This is enough to bury them, he said. Only if the world sees it, Natasha replied. Which they won't. Peter looked up. Why? Because the media's locked. Social platforms filtered. Leaks vanish. Whistleblowers disappear. You want this to go viral? You'll have to force it into the world. How? Natasha tapped another screen. It displayed the Stark satellite grid, orbital relays Carol used during her deep space ops. There's one relay left untouched. Earthwatch 7. Buried in Stark tech code. I can jack in and piggyback the signal. You give me 5 minutes inside the node and I can blast this signal across every screen on Earth. Then let's go, Sam said. Won't be that easy, Natasha replied. SWRD monitors it now. You go loud, they'll lock it down or nuke the whole thing from orbit. Peter clenched his fists. Then we go louder. An hour later, Natasha's old Quinjet soared low through clouds, cloaked. Peter sat in the back, suiting up. The red and black nanotech wrapped over his skin like a second shadow. He wasn't the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man anymore. He was Earth's firewall. As they neared the relay station, alarms blared across comms. SWRD was already there. Gunships. Drones. Troops. They were waiting. You were followed, Natasha muttered. Peter growled, or they've got someone on the inside. Natasha dove the jet into a canyon. Anti-air fire zipped past them. We're going in hot. Sam launched first, wings slicing through flak like razors. Peter followed, swinging between explosions, webbing missiles out of the sky. They hit the ground hard. Instant chaos. Drones swarmed. Peter moved like lightning. He web-yanked a drone into a tank, flipped, and launched an EMP web that shorted a whole squad's comms. Sam dove from the sky, slamming his shield into a strike team, wings folded like blades. Natasha moved through shadows, silent, lethal, untouchable. Every second counted. Inside the relay tower, the core hummed. Natasha ran cables. Plugged the drive. Her fingers danced over the keys. Signal charging. 2 minutes. Peter kicked down the door as troops swarmed in. You're out of time. Natasha shoved the drive into a backup slot. Buy me 30 seconds. Peter nodded and turned. Then they arrived. Black suits. Blank masks. Not SWRD soldiers, operatives. One stepped forward. You were warned, Spider-Man, walk away. Peter's mask split open just enough for them to see his eyes. I'm done walking. They charged. The fight was brutal. Not just fists and webs, these operatives had counter-tech. Cloaked field scramblers. Shock-absorbing armor. Neural dampeners. Peter had to go full instinct, dodging before he saw, hitting before they blinked. He wasn't just fighting for truth. He was fighting for every kid with powers who didn't even know they were on a list. Behind him, Natasha yelled, "Uploading." The tower lit up. A pulse raced into the sky. Satellites synced. Screens worldwide, phones, billboards, TVs, even VR feeds, flickered, then played one thing. The truth. Files. Footage. Audio. Testimonies. Project Silence was no longer a secret. Natasha turned to Peter, eyes wide. "We did it." Then the building shook. A final missile hit the core. Explosion. Peter webbed Natasha midair as the tower collapsed. They hit the snow, hard. Smoke rose behind them. But the truth was already out. Around the world, people stared at their screens. Shock. Horror. Rage. Carol Danvers opened her eyes on a distant moon and smiled. Sam's voice crackled over Peter's earpiece. "They can't stop it now." Peter pulled off his mask. For the first time in weeks, he breathed. They better not even try. The world was on fire, not from bombs, but from the truth. Screens across the globe lit up with leaked documents, secret experiments, deep-cover operatives, and surveillance footage of Project Silence. People stopped in the streets. Phones buzzed non-stop. Superpowered teens deleted tracking apps they didn't even know they had. Parents yanked children from supposed gifted outreach programs. Protests flared up before governments could even respond. Peter stood in the shadows, watching it all unfold. They did it. But the victory was already rotting. Because the people behind Silence weren't hiding. They were doubling down. Valentina Allegra de Fontaine appeared on national broadcasts within hours. Calm. Controlled. Wearing a tailored suit and the smirk of someone who had planned every move. Captain Marvel is alive. Black Widow, too. These people you trust? They've manipulated global systems without oversight, faked deaths, lied to the world. Ask yourself, what else are they hiding? If these heroes are allowed to operate unchecked, who will protect you from them? The spin was brutal. They didn't deny the leaks. They weaponized them. Governments were forced into position, either back their enhanced citizens or pass emergency control laws. The UN Security Council went into a deadlock. Across Europe and the US, powered individuals were asked to register or remain under observation. Peter didn't even get time to breathe. Because then came the bounty. A red alert plastered his face across every news network. Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, wanted for cyberterrorism, espionage, and global disruption. Sam was hit next. Then Shuri. Then Kate Bishop. Anyone tied to the upload. They weren't fugitives. They were being framed as enemies of the state. Peter's phone buzzed with a single message from Fury. Go dark. Everyone's compromised. Trust no one. They ran. Different cities. Disconnected burners. Old safehouses Fury built back when S.H.I.E.L.D. was still alive. Even in hiding, Peter saw what was happening to the world. Enhanced schools shut down. Mutants relocated for safety. Tech companies raided for non-compliance. Drones roamed freely above cities like watchdogs. And yet, people fought back. Kids formed encrypted underground channels to protect each other. Some powered teens moved into Wakanda under Shuri's stealth programs. Strange cast global veils over small safe zones, pockets of untouched reality. Heroes like Kamala Khan, Riri Williams, and Echo risked exposure to ferry people out of surveillance zones. Carol sent one last message from deep space. The next phase is coming. The real enemy isn't who we thought. I'm bringing reinforcements. Then silence. Peter stared at the stars every night, wondering how long Earth could hold out before the shadow swallowed everything. But it wasn't all dark. Because one name started trending worldwide, not as a criminal, but a symbol. Spider-Man. Not the vigilante. Not the kid. But the voice who exposed the lie. Graffiti lit up alleyways in neon paint. Spider, we believe Spider-Man. Spider, heroes don't need permission. Even under siege, the people were starting to see through the fog. Peter Parker didn't have a safe house anymore. But he had hope. And that was dangerous. Because the last time the system underestimated a kid in a mask, it lost control of the story. Now, Peter was the story. And the war for who controls truth had just begun. They came for Peter at dawn. A SWRD strike team hit the abandoned metro tunnel he was hiding in, silent boots, pulse rifles, full blackout gear. But by the time they breached the perimeter, he was already gone. What they didn't know was that Peter wasn't hiding anymore. He was hunting. All across the globe, underground cells had risen. Not soldiers, civilians. Kids. Scientists. Runaways. Forgotten enhanced people who no longer believed the media, the mandates, or the masks. They called themselves the network, and at the center of their encrypted channels, one name pulsed like a beacon. Spider-Man. Peter had become something larger than a hero. He was a signal. And now that signal had a target. Valentina. She was preparing to launch Phase 3, Project Oblivion, a weaponized satellite system designed to release targeted nanotech suppressors globally. Her plan, neutralize all enhanced DNA on Earth in a single strike. Painless. Clean. Controlled, she called it. Peter called it genocide in disguise. They had one shot. One window. One orbit. Carol Danvers broke Earth's atmosphere like a comet, trailed by 2 Kree defectors and a Skrull pilot. She'd been gathering forces across galaxies, not armies, evidence. Hard proof that silence was part of a multi-world agenda led by shadow governments and Earth's elite. Shuri launched a stealth satellite uplink from Wakanda, forcing Oblivion systems into diagnostic delay. Sam led a fake attack team in Buenos Aires, baiting SWRD's global forces to the wrong hemisphere. And Peter? Peter climbed the tallest tower in Europe, alone, into a storm, to manually uplink a final code override into Oblivion's control relay before launch. Rain hammered down. Lightning flashed like nature was trying to warn him off. But Peter didn't flinch. He clung to the side of a glass building, battered, bloody, breath ragged, fingers frozen, but he kept climbing. The uplink was 1 floor away when Valentina appeared on every screen around him. Peter Parker, she said, voice ice calm. This ends now. 1 step further, and you doom every enhanced life on Earth. You'll trigger a failsafe that kills millions. Peter looked at the camera, mask torn, face exposed to the world. No, he said. You already did that. I'm just turning the lights on. He punched through the glass, slammed the override into the port, and uploaded Natasha's final encryption key. Oblivion system stuttered. Paused. And crashed. Around the world, every control node went dark. The satellite fell silent in orbit. The failsafe died with it. Valentina vanished from the screens. And just like that, they won. The truth wasn't buried. It was broadcast, raw and unfiltered. People saw the chains. And for once, they didn't look away. SWRD leadership was dismantled. Trials began. Whistleblowers came out of hiding. Superhumans stopped hiding altogether. The world didn't fix overnight. But it had a chance. Weeks later, Peter stood at a rooftop in Queens, suit repaired, mask in hand. The sunset burned orange. Behind him, Carol landed softly, her eyes scanning the city. You didn't have to risk everything, she said. Peter smiled. You did it first. We both lied, she admitted. Yeah, Peter nodded. But we told the truth louder. She looked at him. You ever wonder what people will call this? He shrugged. whatever they want. Then he pulled his mask back on. I'm just Spider-Man. And with that, he leapt into the sky, web swinging, fearless, no longer just a symbol. Now, he was a legend. Because in a world built on lies, the kid who told the truth changed everything. Forever.